Hello, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube. This is Stick Guy 187, and thank you so much for tuning in to my very first ever video. I'm going to be doing a knife review today of the Ontario knife Joe Pardue Utilitac II. I just got this in the mail today from Amazon. Ordered it last week, and it was about $31 before taxes. 31 Canadian. I am up in the Great White North, which isn't so white right now because it's spring. Anyways, moving on. I just received this in the mail, and one of the first things I noticed, besides this little lanyard that I may or may not be keeping, one of the first things I noticed was that this is actually not an assisted open. Many of my knives are. I do like assisted opens, but this one, given how easy it is to open and close using the dual volcano thumb studs, I actually don't miss the assisted open. It opens really easily, but one of the things that I noticed, and I confirmed this with my girlfriend a little while ago, had her try the knife, this liner lock is fairly stiff, and it may be slightly difficult for you to close your knife up the first few times. Eventually that should actually wear out a little bit and loosen up, so you'll be able to open and close your knife pretty easily. When the knife actually opens, it's locked in there very tight. There's no blade play back and forth or side to side. It seems to lock up at about, I believe that's about 45%. One of the things that I noticed on the liner lock, and I'll try to get this in focus. Okay, maybe not in focus. One of the things I noticed was there is a ball bearing in there, which makes it very, very easy to open and close the knife. One of the things I like about that is I'm not going to see any wear or tear on this portion of the blade, and I won't see any damage to the finish. The finish itself is very much like your average plastic bake-on powder coating. It may get a little scratched up if I need to sharpen this, but hey, what's a knife without a scar or two? So I did some early tests on this knife, just to test it right out of the box for sharpness and utility. I do like that this knife is a larger size and it fits in the hand very well, so I can actually do these tests fairly easily. But we'll just scrape at the random piece of wood to see how it cleans that off. That's actually fairly good. Took off the bark very nicely. You could probably start a little campfire with something like that. The point is actually very nice. Penetrates fairly well into this wood. I tested it on some medium density foam building material, kind of like foam insulation you'd put on your walls, and it penetrates very nicely. The tanto transition point actually slices very nicely as well. I did some cut tests earlier, and out of the box, this knife is very nice. The edges are nice and clean, and there's no actual tearing, it's all cutting. Little slivers. Clean off the knife a bit. All told, the knife itself actually impressed me. The grippery handles are fairly grippy. Not the best grip ever, maybe a rubberized coating or a little bit more aggressive cross hatching would be nice, but it does provide a very secure grip. The jimping on the blade itself, as you saw while I was doing the work with the wood, does provide for a very nice control while you're using the blade for fine work. The pocket clip. Ontario knives, in a lot of their knives, they offer a 4-point adjustment on the pocket clip. Left-handed, right-handed, tip up, tip down. I personally prefer tip up, just because it's easier to get out of my pocket if I'm going to use it. So I will be moving this clip over to this side, but again, it's your preference. The lanyard itself, oh, why not? I'll talk about it. I don't see this really having any use beyond maybe if I do a tip-up carry, being slightly easier to jerk out of my pocket. This cord, there's not really enough to do anything other than tie a tarp to a stick, so you know, that's about it. We'll do one more quick test, and then I will say goodbye. Just a little piece of plastic here. I have a stiletto bladed knife, fairly sharp, fairly pointy. I'll do a review on it later. Penetrates without too much difficulty. It's a very thin blade, very aggressive point. Let's compare, sorry, jostled the camera there, the Utilitac's slightly thicker blade and slightly wider point. If you hear a weird noise in the background, I apologize, that's my cat drinking. Okay, point penetrates fairly well. This, in case you guys were wondering, this is hard plastic Hills Brothers instant coffee container. So it's fairly hard plastic. All in all, for about $30, I can't say I am, too upset with missing the assisted open. The knife is really nice. The weight is actually very nice. It fits my hands really well. I'm not exactly a small guy. I'm about 6'1", 220 pounds. I don't have huge hands. I don't have nimble little fingers or anything like that. So this is kind of nice for that little bit of extra comfort when I'm actually holding a knife or, drawing or anything like that. Like I said, I got it off Amazon for around $31. Your local knife store may or may not have it for a better price. There's also a couple of different versions of this. There's one with, I think it's a spear point, a non-tanto point, and there's a tanto with this entire section here replaced with a serration. I couldn't bring myself to buy that. Sorry to all you guys who love serrations, but I like the edge. The edge is very nice. One thing to be aware of, it may actually be that this blade length is too big for some areas in Canada. Make sure to always check your local knife laws so that whatever you carry on you, especially if you're going to have something like this be your EDC, make sure that whatever you carry is legal. I want to give a shout out to We All Juggle Knives and Chris at Prepared Minds 101 for leading me towards the Ontario Utilitac II, and I want to thank you all for listening to my ramblings about this random knife. Thanks so much, and I'm Stick Guy 187.